Can we talk about our vacation dates tonight? Maybe? You've been saying maybe a lot lately. I just been needing a lot more alone time. That's all. Are we okay? Oh, I start to feel this compression on my chest and my hands a little bit shaky. My legs want to move. What comes to my head is the word run. What's going on with me? Why do some people need to go backward or withdraw their energy while the relationship is going so well? And that's what they've been asking for, looking for. Closeness, intimacy, companion, love. Today, we will look at the flight part in the relationship. For each partner, and from a somatic perspective and systematic perspective, we'll have a deep dive in exploring this flight part bodily and help you to identify when that show up in your life. And maybe you can also identify when that show up in your partner. Generally, the behaviors is very easy to identify when people are in flight, and it's good to connect the behaviors with what happens within your bodily sensations, so you have a little fingerprint for your own flight part. And then we will talk about how to bring out that part to your partner interpersonally, to talk about how to reallocate your energy and time, maybe in this stage of your relationship development, so you don't take it personally. Also, you avoid triggering your partner's anxious pursuit part, which leads to the famous withdrawer pursuer dynamic. Stay till the end for the stand-alone meditation for you when you are being seized by your flight part. Let's begin. My name is Ijao Martins. For those who don't know me, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in the state of California, and my specialty is somatic couples work. Let's take a look at the behaviors that you may notice you may be very familiar with for this flight part. It can show up as think about a moment, not necessarily in a romantic relationship. It could be at work, it could be with friendship, it could be in your community, activities, anything, even from your children, when you're with your children. Sometimes you notice there's a long silence or pauses in between two people are talking, mostly initiated by you to stretch this silence longer. And sometimes you're very slow to respond, or maybe your answer is very ambiguous. It's a maybe, it's very tentative, the energy is not very settled in one or the other end. Or sometimes you notice that either energetically or physically you're withdrawing from the person you're with, from the project or from your group, from your work projects or work relationship or friendship. You notice that you're getting very restless even when you're spending time with them. Your hands are a little bit shaky and your legs are kind of jittery. You just want to move. You feel very uncomfortable. And if you can rule out any other reasons like physical conditions or other mental conditions, that could be an indicator that your flight part is dominating your system right now. So what does this flight part look like in our body? I will share with you when I notice the flight part presenting inside of me, and the intention is for you to see if there's any similarities so you can identify this part present and start to verbalize it, be more conscious of it. And it's actually an invitation for you to explore what it's like to be in your body when that part shows up. So till the end, that meditation will be very helpful for you to explore that. But right now, let me share with you my exploration. So when I notice that my flight part is taking over, it starts from my eyes. My eyes start to look a little bit flighty, or you could say darty. So it's not as focused. Let me show you when I'm engaged with someone. That is when I'm very engaged with you. I'm trying to engage you. There's a pulling in. Do you notice energetic? I'm pulling you in. And on the other hand, if I'm trying to observe and mentally assess a certain situation, my eyes energy may go outward more, like this. Like I'm observing, I'm taking in things. And there's a certain amount of tension in eyes, so I try not to do that as much. Only maybe when I'm working and trying to do couples assessment. And with the flighty eyes, it looks more like this. The energy literally going inside, but I'm not trying to pull you in. Instead, I'm just trying to avoid disconnect. My energy is going inward, actually, even though if I don't look down or close my eyes, I still do not look focused. My eyes are not focused on you, on the external world, more internally. So that is the one sign for me when my flight part is taking over. Another thing I notice is my lips and my jaws. They're also pulling back slightly compared to when I'm speaking to you. Actually, I'm very actively engaging my mouth and my lips and my jaws to deliver the message to you. But if I'm in the flight state, my flight part is taking over, I literally trying to hold it back so I do not communicate words, or sometimes even I communicate the sound. The voice will be very different from what I'm speaking right now. It will be more pinched in the throat, and it sounds even tentative and shaky a little bit. Do you notice the difference? It's almost like you hear someone from very far away. You're trying to make out what you're saying, right? That's a flight response for me. And then also notice tightness in my throat and my upper chest. Almost I have a little bit iron board here lay on top of it. So instead of having an open, soft heart, if you can see, if I have a soft, open heart towards you right now, this is how my body is being the shape. If I have a little bit pulling back with tightness, upper chest, do you notice the difference? And also in my throat, that's very obvious. There's a little pit here. And it changes my voice immediately. Right? So it's a very uncomfortable position to be in for holding long. So, but there are times I'm aware I'm in the flight, that my flight part is taking over, dominating my system. Then I'll be like, oh, what's going on here? I'm in flight. Generally, that indicates to me there's a part of me have voice, want to be heard before I make a bold move and putting more energy into certain areas of my life, either work or relationships or projects. So what does it look like in you? Maybe when we're in the final meditation, you can explore a little bit when your flight part is taking over. What does it look like? In a relationship, it could be very tentative to make plans. It could be hesitating to commit to invest more. It could be a obvious shift to other parts of your life, investing energy and time. So now, let's look at it systematically from a personal perspective. Like in your personal system, we're constantly trying to assess our brain. That's how our brain works. How to, where to, how much to spend and invest our energy and time. One thing that is crucial for us is that determining if we can survive or not. We only have a certain amount of energy and time and resources inside of us, in our boundary, our physical boundary. So we need to really be cautious and where we put them. So make sure we survive first, then we develop and transform. That's for our inner personal system. So it makes sense if the other parts of your lives were taking more energy and resources from you, say work, parenting, or a parent or a dear friend has some health condition that you need to take care of them. That's energy and resources going to them. So what's left inside of your pie chart might be reduced. That's allocated to the relationship, romantic relationship. You want it or not, that's a reality. It's limited, right? So that is one way to look at how we actually use our energy and time. So sometimes when we withdraw energy, we relocate to reallocate into some other area of our life. It's for survival, and is reasonable, is sensible, is normal and human. Right? And interpersonally, now look at the system. Every relationship is a system that you continue to build and develop. That takes at least two people to invest in a relationship, and it goes through stages according to the developmental model by Ellen Bader and Pete Pearson. And it goes through stages from the symbiotic stage, that's what we generally call the honeymoon period, and it translates to differentiation period, which naturally takes more time to be away from each other to establish who you are and then communicate to each other who you are. And then so there is more time apart naturally called for to develop yourself in this relationship. What is the identity you have in this relationship and how do you relate to each other? So it could be your relationship progressed to this stage of development, and it's time to reassess your priorities, your identity within the relationship, identity outside of relationship, relocation, recalibrate your energy investment in the relationship and in other parts of your life. And so talk about how do you spend time together and how much time you spend together. What form of relationship and contact do you want to share? And those are things that you have to bring into conscious and between people and not just be with yourself. So oftentimes when the partner notices the flight part that's showing up, which is normal, everyone has it. I say it one more time, everybody has a flight part at any given time in certain contexts. It's very normal and it's good for survival that we withdraw the energy from outside, go inside to sustain ourselves. It's very necessary. So anytime you notice that, but when you do not communicate that consciously, this is where I'm at, let's recalibrate, and it activates something in the other person if you're in an attached relationship. That's what we call role induction. We induce the other person's anxious part that they can pursue us and want to sustain what a relationship status quo before you start to show up your flight behaviors. So isn't that interesting? Even though both of us may have that part, this part can pull in the other part to interact and dance with you. And then, so in order not to induce them, rope them in, you want to externalize, express where you are. You can say, well, first, here we come to the tips. You want to be more aware of when your version of flight part is present. Number two, you want to accept them, normalize them, acknowledge them, welcome them, and thank them for being present and give you information about yourself. It's saying, your system is overloaded. You cannot take on more interactions or stimulations from the outside. That's a very helpful indicator, isn't it? And the third, when you're ready, you can communicate to your partner about where you're at and invite them to have a conversation about where you're at, where you want to be, and realistically, how do you want to allocate your time and energy together? What kind of relationship are you looking for? If you have any differences, and can you realign yourself together? Right? And so with that practice, that's actually the hardest part, without activating the other person's anxious pursuit part, and then how to talk in a way that is loving, kind, and also loving, kind to yourself too. Acknowledge where you are, what the reality is, and be very realistic about the resources that you have, not what you can share. So let's go to a standalone meditation. It's helpful for you to be more aware of your own flight part and also get centered so you can get ready for this conversation you can have with your partner. Are you ready? Notice the areas of your body that have cooler temperature than the rest part of your body. Where are they? And what is it like to notice this cooler part? Is it pleasant? Is it unpleasant? And notice if it shifts and moves. What's the texture of this part of you that's cooler than the rest of the body? And notice where your energy starts to turn inward and move inside. It may show up as a bubbly sensation in your stomach, or a tingling sensation in your legs, or pulsation your neck. Notice where the energy is moving towards. And acknowledge and accept them unconditionally. Now inhale and notice if you have any impulse wanting to move. Or that impulse that your body wants to move towards certain space, certain areas in the house or outside. Any way your body wants to shift and move. And soften around your muscles that are ready to move. It's okay to relax, and there's no need to act right now. We are getting information from where and what and how you want to move. And allow your breath to lengthen. You can do it gradually. When you inhale 1 and exhale 2. Now inhale 1 and exhale 3. Inhale 1 and exhale 4. And tell this part of your body that wants to fly, wants to flee, you're allowed to be here. You're part of me. It's not a failure to try to self-preserve and to maintain your energy internally. It depends on the time and context. No one can take away your autonomy or your right to choose to be conserving your energy. Others may have feelings about how you invest your time, your attention, your energy, and those feelings belong to them, and those are valid as well. You are safe to observe all parts of yourself with openness and curiosity. As you become more comfortable and grounded internally, you can start to open, have some space to hear the experiences of others without losing yourself. Now, you can repeat this internally after me. I can stay connected and still remain myself. I can listen inwardly without disappearing from relationships. I am safe to integrate all parts of me. Thank you for viewing, and get in touch with your flight part. My intention is to invite you to get to know the part of you that can be in flight and preserve yourself and energy turn inward sometimes without blaming and judging yourself. And without also trying to judge other people when they have that part show up. As we all human beings have that part and need to preserve ourselves and conserve our energy and turn inward sometimes. I will see you next week.